we moved a lot of the enhanced varieties of perennials right into current. There's a total of maybe 139 varieties, so that should be helping you out with your orders. Now, the very first thing we're going to talk about here is the echinacea. Echinacea, the bareroot or the new cane we got, we're still looking at a 2 or 3 weeks before we can move that crop into current without coming out CBG. But I do have 4 varieties that's left over from last year, just over there in T1, their minimum heat houses. The very first one right here is the Echinacea Cheyenne Spirit. This is a multicolor variety. It's also known as coneflower. It's between zone 4 through 9. It will get to 24 to 30 inches in height, to 24 to 30 inches in width. Like I said, what's great about this is you get an assortment of color with this variety. It is said to you want to plant this in the mostly helps does better in direct sun. Once it's you want to water occasionally, but once it's established, you want to probably water it more when it gets into more of the hot seasons, mostly during the course of the summer. But like I said, this right here, this is last year's oak candy, and it is well rooted. It doesn't have any buds, but it's got nice, good foliage on it. Go to the next picture. Okay, the next one that I have out of the 4 is the Echinacea Power White. Now, this is a pure white. It's also known as coneflower. It has the same. The thing about this one, you don't really have to deadhead this variety. It's one of those ones that it will continue to keep on bringing up flowers for you. But for appearance and appeal, they said that you can just go ahead and remove the old flower buds off that, so that way you still have a beautiful attraction for this flower. But this is a very low maintenance echinacea. Like I said, this is last year's crop. This is in the 17 centimeter. We still have some varieties we might have in 17 centimeters and 19 centimeters. We are doing away with the 19s. Most of the echinaceas, as time goes on, they should all be in the 17 centimeter pots. Okay, this one requires it can be more of the average to clay soil. Go ahead to the next picture. Okay, the next one is the Echinacea Perry Splendors. This is another one that's in the zone 3 to zone 8. We get to 24 inches in height. It is more of a nice rose pink flower. Like I said, it's also in the 17 centimeter. This one, it does well in full sun, but you can also just put it in the full sun to half shade, more on the close to underneath a landscape tree. This is the more of the shorter variety of echinacea. This one is more short, compact. It will give you a lot of flowers. It is considered to be deer resistant, and it's supposed to be butterfly resistant also too. It also makes great for cut flowers. The next variety, this one is more of a landscape. Landscapers really like this variety right here. The Echinacea purpurea magnus. It is a very low maintenance echinacea, also known as coneflower. This will give you a nice rosy pinkish purple flower. Like I said, this also you do well in the average clay soil. Once again, like all echinaceas, you want to water it, continue watering when you first establish it. But once it's established, you can just water it occasionally. But once you start getting into the summer season, you want to water it more than often to just keep it going with the flowers and the colors. Go ahead to the next picture. As you can know, we're moving the hydrangeas in S8 and S9. We're moving those into current. The very first one I'm showing you here is the Hydrangea Summer Crush. This is a variety we have for almost 2 years. I have no complaints about this variety except you sell it faster than we probably grow it. It's more of a slower growing variety. Usually we had this can last year, but the tops will be ready before the roots are, but it is a good variety. This is last year's crop. As you can see, the picture that's on the left is the 3 gallon. The picture on the right is the 2 gallons. As you can see, it's loaded with buds and blooms, and they're ready to go. Go ahead to the next picture. Now, this is the listings. For the next couple of pictures, it's going to be more of a group shot. Jeff wanted to show group shots because there was a lot of varieties we put into the current for you. This is basically a list of all the varieties that were in enhanced houses that was moving to current this week. We did change the priority of these, so mostly for most of them are in enhanced houses, except for the Hemercalyces. The Hemercallis varieties are the only ones that's over there in R5. Those are in cold houses, but like I said, you can plant those right outside. They're doing just fine. They're not showing any buds and blooms. That's the only variety that's not in the semi-heated houses. The rest of them, for all the hydrangeas, all the clematis, this you can look at this list. You know, this is the enhanced varieties that we put on inventory for you this week. As it comes for roses, roses were already in inventory, but we did move S3B and S4 into current. 3B will be priority 1, and I'll be showing you some pictures of those also too. And so for here on out, we're going to be getting more of a enhanced roses and hydrangeas also too. There are some stray ones that you're going to get into cereal, going to be a natural season crop. It's just because some of these varieties, we didn't have enough room for every single variety, but these are the varieties we have for you that you can see, you can plan your orders against. Now, this is a prime example of a variety we have. I have a lot of them. I can't show pictures of everyone. You want to just do a group picture. The very first one, this is the Buddleias. It's over there in S2. We did release these varieties. Most of the varieties over there is the Puxer series. The Puxer series is more of the Buddleia that's more of the dwarf variety. We have a blue, a white, two varieties of pinks, and the picture just on the left is your 3 gallons. Picture just on your right is your 1 gallons. Go ahead to the next picture. Like I said, just reference back to that listing so you see what varieties I'm talking about. Chick charms, we did release these varieties also too. We have the chick charm, the A and the B, once again, to be on the listings. We did release these varieties, so we got your chick charms and silk succulents. You can move right into your, help you fill up your customers and your orders. The great thing about chick charms is they're very, very low maintenance, and they come in all against different varieties of colors, which is the silver, red, pink, purple, yellow. But like I said, all those were moved. Like the picture on the right is a sample of what the flat will look like. Like I said, we moved these into current. And then
very colorful, very nice.
Okay, now clematis. There was 29 varieties of clematis we moved into current this week. As you can see over the picture of it to the left, this is the varieties is an S5, the big greenhouse. There's not too many varieties that's in bud and bloom. There are some that's showing some color, but mass majority of these are up to trellis, and they really quite haven't started showing buds yet. But they're nice and clean, and they're going all up in the trellis. The one on the right is basically Raymond Evanson's, and the next one is like your paniculatus, your Genesine cream picture variety is the one that's on your right. But like I said, they're still nice and clean. Now, these varieties are kept in houses that the temperatures are set at between 50 to 60 degrees. That's the only thing you want to keep in mind when it comes to clematis. If you got some customers, you might want to make sure to keep them in an area that's more like a greenhouse, probably, because this, as you can see, when it comes to this temperature, is still fluctuating. So that's the only thing I want to just really emphasize when it comes to clematis. These are still kept in temperature houses at 50 to 60 degrees. So you might want to watch the nighttime temperatures for these varieties. Okay, the Hemercalis. Now these are all out in the cold houses. These are, let's see here. Okay, we have the Never Ending series. We also have your Double Pardon Me's and your bananas. The Plants That Work series we put on, and the Proven Winner series we put on. They don't have any buds on them, but they do have nice, clean foliage on them. So if you got some customers want some of these early for the spring, these are all ready for you. This is more a variety that it blooms. Like I said, I got a side note on here that said this basically, once it starts blooming, the blooms will last between 30 to 40 days or even longer. But this is a variety that won't really bloom until late spring, throughout the summer, and then probably start ending just close to when we start getting into the fall. All right, your hydrangeas. We did release all the hydrangeas over there in S8 and S9. You have your city lines. You have some of your the endless summers. The summer crush. I showed you that picture early, and like I said, this is a big group picture. You also have some of your ruby reds in here. As you can see, they're in bud and in blooms. mostly almost all the hydrangeas in those houses, they're in bud and bloom. But like I said, so you've got customers wanting these are all priority one right now for these selections. So if you're looking for some hydrangeas and bud and blooms, hopefully next week we can start breaking down and giving you individual pictures and talk about individual varieties. But right now we have so many varieties put on, we just have to show us a group picture that you know that we're putting on all of them right into current. Okay, the knockouts. Knockout series is over there in 3B. We wind up moving these into, he showed down some were put into current. They are going to be priority one. S4 varieties also was put into current. That's going to be priority two. You got your knockouts and your drifts of the series that we already put in current. The knockout series, some of the varieties are actually starting to grow some buds. No color, but some are starting to get some buds. We also did the drift varieties. Is another one also starting to get some buds also too. But like I said, nothing's really cracking and showing color yet. But compared to what's outside, this crop is maybe 2 weeks ahead of what's outside. So this will be your next, this is priority one pick from today on up for the rest of the week until we sell through this crop. So just letting you know how about these roses. The drifts, drift varieties are also on current also too. The growing varieties I don't have in current is the Sunblaze. Sunblaze, we got those in as bare root. They're not quite full as Jeff would like them to be. He's waiting to see how they do within another week or two. He's going to decide then whether or not we can move them into current or if he needs to trim them back again to let them flesh out a little bit more. So the Sunblaze is the only variety over here in 3B I do not have in current yet. But knockouts and drifts, you should be good. Is there another picture? Is that it?
I think that's your last picture.
Okay. Yeah. On a quick note, there's some questions asking about for some lavendulas. Jeff had to trim those because they were just growing so fast. We do have some that weren't trimmed, but that's basically meant for online. If you got landscapers that want them, just let me know. We can't roll them to current for you. They are still good for landscape. For retail, you might want to wait. I'm hoping another 2 weeks because we've already trimmed them twice and they're very fast, vigorous growers that's inside that greenhouse. So hopefully, if anyone wants those landscapers, you should be good. Retailers, I'm hoping in 2 more weeks. Just keep that in mind, okay?